something that's related to the current market conditions, and that's reconsiderations of value. Or so inevitably,
Oh yeah.
you're going to do your best to understand the market data, but inevitably in this market, buyers are behaving differently, and they may choose to pay more than the market data supports. And so the appraised value
Mhm.
is lower, obviously. And so when that comes back to you, maybe you turn it in, you did your best. What are you seeing in the way of lender behavior, and how do you handle those reconsiderations? Because I assume a lot of them may have good information and some of them may not. So tell me a little bit about your process there.
Right. It's a complicated issue. So for the most part, reconsiderations of value, or ROVs as we call them sometimes, we always take a look at them in a professional way. I'm a human. I miss things. My team, I've got a team of 5 people that work with me on all of my reports, and we sometimes there may be a sale out there we're not aware of. I love data. Data's the lifeblood of what I do. So if I've missed something, thank you for showing me. Or if there's a sale out there that was a private transaction that wasn't listed, we can definitely look at those too, depending on the situation. It may be usable, it may not. But we're always very professional with it. I always expect my staff to answer any ROV in a very professional way. It can be frustrating sometimes. Some lenders, unfortunately, are doing exactly what Fannie and Freddie have asked them not to do, which is just take a UDCP printout of possible comps that were selected through an algorithm and just hand them to the appraiser. That's not helpful at all, because generally speaking, they're looking at, like where I'm at, I have a lot of rural areas. So there's not a lot of consistency in the property types that are out there. It's not a homogeneous a market in a lot of regards. So unless we're in a big subdivision, which we don't have a lot of here, you're really not going to be able to easily find great comps. And unfortunately, when they give us those farm lists from what Fannie and Freddie print out on their side because we don't get to see any of that as appraisers.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they'll just give us a random, what I call it, a data dump. It's just a bunch of stuff that may or may not be worth looking at. But one thing I do ask lenders to do in that situation is try to qualify the data that you're going to get back to the appraiser. Make sure that it's actual, at least it looks on the surface like good data. If you give me, 3 or 4 sales to look at, happy to do it. If you give me a dozen or 15 of them, which does happen occasionally, it's a little ridiculous to expect an appraiser for free to go back through all of that data when usually 90% of it's not usable or not comparable data.
Well, and I think the responsibility of the appraiser initially is to do their best to search all available data sources. And so the appraisers, in good faith, I believe in most cases, are doing their research, have formed an opinion of value based on all that data. And so, like you said, if something is missed or is private or wasn't readily available through the normal sources, I think all appraisers want to see that if available, so they can have a more credible opinion. But I appreciate your comment about from the lender's perspective as to how they can minimize the stress and strife of that process by doing a little vetting on the front end. So thank you.